E aí pessoal, tudo bem? Aqui é o Geremias, estou aqui hoje para conferir o game The Sinking City, é um joguinho de detetive, né, na cidade afundando. Parece ser bem interessante, então bora conferir este game aqui. Ele está gratuito para jogar durante 3 dias aqui no Xbox, durante o final de semana inteiro, então a gente pode experimentá-lo gratuitamente. Você só precisa ter a Live Gold, né? Ou Game Pass Ultimate. Muito bem, introdução sinistra, né? Tem que pegar uma pistola.
Hope I never have to use it, but something tells me I
Espero não
will.
ter que usar isto. Eu também espero. Ele pegou uma carta e aqui uma câmera. Tá meio lenta a movimentação aqui. Cadê opções? Configurações. Eu preciso aumentar isso daqui. Bastante. Continua lento. Não gosto de jogo lento. Aumenta aí. Tudo. Tá bom?
Never trust a tourist advertisement.
Bom, jogo em inglês, né? Mas tem a legendinha ali. Não dá pra ver ali. Como é que olha? Como é que ele fez isso? RB. Ele procura materiais ali. Legal. É tipo um
Never trust
RPG
a
então.
tourist advertisement.
O gráfico bacaninha.
Now get out.
Tá bom. Aperte Y para escalar aonde? Escalar o quê? Isso daqui?
At last, Mr. Charles Reed. What a pleasure to finally meet you in the flesh.
Nice to meet you.
Johannes van der Berg, at your service. I did promise to meet you the moment you arrived.
Ah, much obliged, Mr. Vanderberg. I guess I didn't expect you to mean so literally.
Please call me your Highness. But where are my manners? Welcome to the proud city of Oakmont. Alas, now is not its finest hour, though it is its most important.
Ah, que eu tenho que escolher uma opção então para responder para ele.
That's an
Pelo termo.
eye-catching suit.
Thank you, Mr. Reed. A mere flood is no excuse for one to abandon one's style.
I take it you're a big fan of yellow.
Well, I have a particular weakness for it. Call it a personal quirk.
Reaching Oakmont was
Quer
no
dizer,
easy task.
cidade.
Most maps I found didn't mark it, and this rickety packet ship is the only one that sailed here. Why is that?
Oakmont is no ordinary place. Its unique geographical position and the flood, a recent natural disaster, make it nigh impossible to reach. But you made it, Mr. Reed. I'm sure the tides of fate would have brought you here one way or another.
You said you know someone who can help me with my problem. The visions have been getting worse.
Such vividness of dreams is not uncommon here in Oakmont. By chance, the man I spoke of, Robert Throgmorton, is already at the port. He has dedicated a lot of time and effort to investigate this issue. Alas, I fear he has a more pressing matter on his hands.
Tell me about this flood.
It began 6 months ago. Storms raged for several weeks, and the water has risen ever higher without receding. Now the city is cut off from the mainland. I must say I rather like it, despite the inconvenience. Atmosphere, you know?
How can I find Mr. Throgmorton?
Don't worry, you can't miss him. Throgmorton tends to stand out from the crowd.
I'll need a place to lay my
Bastante
head while I'm
diálogos, né?
here. Any recommendations?
Fear not. I've already feathered a nest for you.
Sounds.
Don't judge a book by its...
What's the best way to get around Oakmont? I'd like to drop my things at the hotel.
Most locals go by foot, or by boat. I've got the latter sorted for you. There's one waiting outside the port.
You're too kind, Johannes. Can you steer me towards the Devil's Reef?
Take this map. I've marked the hotel and a few other key places.
Other places? Like what?
You're a private eye, yes? Well, I've highlighted the police station, city archive, newspaper, places you'll need to get to the truth. This city is insular, its ways mysterious. No one will take you by the hand, so you better know where to turn in search of a lead.
How do you
Parece
fill
ter
your
muito
days,
mapa,
Mr.
então.
Vanderberg?
I host a
Quero
philosophy
ver o
club
mapinha.
for the like-minded intelligentsia, gathering seeds of thought, like moths drawn to a flame.
Does Oakmont really have much of a market for philosophy these days?
There is no consciousness without pain, Mr. Reed. No better moment for clarity than times of hardship.
Well, that's it for now, I think.
Adeus, tchau. Chega de
Thanks for
conversar.
helping me get my
Não gosto
bearings.
de conversar.
No, no. The pleasure was mine,
Shut.
Mr. Reed.
Oh, before you go, how can I get in touch with you later?
Don't worry about that. I'm the kind of man who finds you.
Bora, cara, eu quero ação. Quero fazer coisas. Dá pra ir aqui? Não. Seu barco, Charon. Legal. É nos Estados Unidos? É um carro bacana, ó. Então, cadê o meu mapa? Ó, tá aqui. Nossa, é grande, né? Tá. Eu preciso ir ali então. Pegar um barquinho. Aqui é o porto. Eu acho que sim. Pegar aquele barquinho lá.
I don't
É
care
mais
about your
conversa.
bloody excuses. No one leaves the port until my son is found, and that is final.
Excuse me. Are you Robert Throgmorton?
I am, but not interested. Go away.
The name's Charles Reed. I'm a private investigator, just arrived from Boston. I was told you might be able to help me.
Private investigator, you say? Well, perhaps we can help each other.
If I may ask, what happened to your son?
Why do you care? What's your angle up?
Well, like I said, I'm a PI. Finding people is kind of my specialty.
Is it? Well, Albert was part of a deep-sea expedition I commissioned. This useless fool over here says he found Albert washed ashore in a lifeboat. Says he was barely conscious, out of his mind, talking gibberish in some other language. That he even tried to bite him.
And you don't believe him?
Complete malarkey. I know my Albert. I raised him strong and smart, the best of his kind. It couldn't have been him. Albert's disappearance is the work of Innsmouthers. Mark my words.
Please forgive the question, but I've never met a man quite like you before.
That's because no man measures up to the Throgmorton lineage. Proud and powerful blood flows through our veins. My father united with a certain royal family, which has blessed all our offspring with these exquisite features.
I've heard you're the man to speak to about visions, outbreaks of hysteria. I'm trying to get to the bottom of it myself.
Another newcomer with another problem. Yes, I know what you speak of.
Can I ask you a few questions?
How dare you? My son Albert is missing, and no one in this Innsmouther-ridden city will do a damn thing. But yes, let's talk about your dreams.
I take it you're not the biggest fan of these Innsmouthers.
Those fish-faced freaks have overrun this city since the police burned Innsmouth to the ground. But now, those filthy migrants occupy half this damned city. The port, Grimhaven Bay, Salvation Harbor, the shells, they are everywhere.
So they're just refugees.
Hardly. They've taken work from the local fishermen. They stir and agitate against us, the Throgmorton family. We are the pillar of this community, not to mention that crime rates have skyrocketed. Simply speaking, they are a big stinking pile of trouble.
Mr. Throgmorton, let me help you. I'm rather good at tracking down missing people. I'll find Albert.
What makes you think you can do it? Oakmont is not exactly friendly to new arrivals.
Let's just say I tend to see things that others miss. And anyway, what have you got to lose? Sounds like you could use every man you can get.
Vera, you have a point, newcomer.
Sorry, did you just say Vera? What does that mean?
You had better get used to the Oakmont dialect, outsider. That is, if you want to fit in. It is a fascinating blend. Vera means fine. I was saying, we have a deal.
I see. Thank you. I need to know
Certo.
more about what happened to Albert.
Tame.
Vera quer
Did you
dizer
not
certo.
listen at all? I already told you
Legal.
everything. After leaving on the expedition, Albert was found on the shore in a lifeboat. This fisherman supposedly brought him to the house, and then left to call me. But when I arrived here, my son was nowhere to be seen.
Anything else?
Clearly, something suspicious occurred inside the house. I suggest you stop dawdling and go see for yourself.
Where's the house where this
Muita
all happened?
conversa.
For Kay's sake, I thought you were a private eye. We're
Sempre
standing right in front of it.
You mentioned a
tem que ouvir tudo, né, pra entender.
Is it still around?
Yes. Face the house, then to the left is a beach that borders a fence. You'll find it there.
As much as I'm enjoying the weather,
Ok,
Mr.
estou indo.
Throckmorton,
Tchau, tchau.
it's time for me to get started.
Tchau, obrigado.
Find my son, newcomer, and be quick about it.
Eu vou demorar só um pouquinho, tá? Não tenha pressa, não. Evidências. Essa é a nossa primeira evidência, então. Nossa primeira investigada. Então, no caso do pescador tem que ter peixe, né? Olha, tinha um doguinho.
Huh. This dog mat looks better than the owner's bed.
Como do cachorro é melhor que o dono. É, cachorro mimado. Ah, tem que segurar o botão aqui pra ele vasculhar. É isso aí, isso aqui é tudo. Não deixa nada aqui pro pescador, não.
The book is damp and damaged, but clearly well cared for.
Tá bom, não tem nada aqui. E aqui. Olha, eu tava preparando um peixe. Que ele guardava os peixes. Oh, Lula. Morreu. Opa, um policial aqui. Isso aqui quem é? Maluco.
Choo choo.
É um trenzinho. Legal. Demorava mais alguém aqui, né?
I'm surprised they don't have someone's portrait here. Five cards short of a full house. There was a fierce fight here, but someone tried to flee.
Fugiu por aqui. Tá bom. Esquisito. Ficou assim. Como é que volta? Ah, já fiz isso. Volta. Ah, ele tava aqui, né?
Never seen knives like this before. masterful work. Seems like prohibition hasn't affected Oakmont too much. So that's what an Innsmouther looks like.
Ah, você tinha pra baixo, cara. Tão simples. Tá estranho. Peraí. Não sei, eu vou falar com esses caras daqui.
Hello? Hey, can you hear me?
Oh, my head. What? Who are you? Are you police? I've already told them everything.
It's okay. I'm Charles Reed, Private Eye. Mr. Throgmorton hired me to find his son.
Oh, okay. What do you want?
I want to know what happened here. Every detail.
I don't remember much. Me, Paul, and Lewis. We were here. This is our house. Barry was outside on his business. Then he came back carrying Throgmorton's son. He was unconscious, barely breathing. Barry left again to call Mr. Robert.
Then what?
We put the guy in Lewis's room. Then he started to make these horrible sounds and... okay, my head began to burst. And he woke up. And after that, I don't remember a thing, just dreams. Drowned streets, a sleeping giant, a voice that called me...
That sounds familiar. Tell me about yourself.
Name's Will Hammond. I'm a fisherman. We all are. Live here together. Me, poor fella Paul, Barry, and Innsmouther Lewis Flynn. We moved here after the flood. I worked on the railroad, but the rail ain't kicking anymore, so I started fishing. It was out of starve.
Where are all the other guys?
That's Paul there on the floor. Kay be with him. Barry's outside with Mr. Throgmorton. Lucky rascal missed everything. And I have no idea what Lewis or Throgmorton's son got to. Starting to suspect the worst.
Who is this K you keep mentioning?
Outsiders, show some respect. Kay is our lord, our light, our love.
Sorry, I didn't know. Do you know how Paul died?
I don't know. When I pulled myself together, he was already gone. Kay, have mercy on his soul.
I'll leave you to it. Take care of yourself, Will.
Please, detective, sir, tell me the truth. Could it be me? Did I kill Paul? Or, Kay, did I kill him?
I don't know yet, Will. The police will stop anyone coming in or out of here, so I suggest you just try and get some rest.
I'm afraid of what I might dream.
Let's see what you find, newcomer. Let's see what you find, newcomer.
Vai me ajudar, cara? Ou não? Por que isso tá marcado assim? O que quer dizer? Você já tava aqui?
I can barely recognize the face of the poor fella. He was beaten to a pulp.
Take this, ape-face.
Pô, barrei na cabeça do cara. Esse aqui tomou um tiro.
Yeah, run!
Onde ele correu. Subiu ali como? Legal. Como é que... Ah, pá, tem coisa aqui.
What's happening?
Okay, let's see what we have here.
Ah,
What's happening?
que é 2,
Take
3.
this, ape-face. Yeah, run!
When Albert Throgmorton woke up, he was not himself. He attacked the fishermen, and his hysteria spread to them. When he got wounded, he fled.
Solucionei o caso?
My head. I still hear those voices.
Let's see what you find, newcomer.
E agora? Será que ele correu pra cá? Podia subir ali e fugir por ali.
Do you like it here, newcomer? Well, get used to it. No one leaves Oakmont nowadays.
Can't catch a mackerel since those Innsmouthers took over the fishing business.
Olha, ele nada. Legal. Tá congelando, né? Corre, meu. Fica d'água. Aí, meu. Não tem nada aqui. Opa, tem um negócio ali.
Something with this helmet gives me chills. What's wrong with it? Something with this helmet gives me chills.
Encontrei. Será que é pra voltar no... de rato esquisito. Onde é pra ir? Lá no 1? Já que eu só vou poder sair daqui a hora que eu resolver esse crime aqui, né? Aí complicou. Tem aqui. Desce ali, cara. E ficou preso aqui. Sai aí, joguinho. Me ajuda. É aqui? Acho que é por aqui, né? Vamos. Passa ali, boneco. Ó o bonequinho. Não é assim? Tá bem. Tá, boneco. Ainda bem que eles sobem, né? Ah, mas não dá pra passar, né? Ah, mas eu vi esse trem lá no cara lá. Ele tem alguma coisa a ver?
You look familiar, but old Billy hasn't seen you around.
Ah, não sabe de nada.
Hey, got a spare bullet, fella? I ain't eaten in days. Oh,
Eu até tenho, mas eu não sei se dá. Vou curtir a pistolinha aí.
welcome to Under the Keel. What do you want? Bye.
Come.
You're some kind of...
Yes, my dear. Yes.
Really? Like what?
Not so fast, newcomer. I see many things. For a small...
Alright, how much? $1?
Your money has no value here, newcomer. After the flood, and I'll make it easier for you.
Let's hear what my future holds.
Good. Let me focus. The sea will be generous in the coming days. Many gifts delivered, and many will regret partaking.
I don't think I follow.
I see old and new. A hard heart against an iron will. Whoever wins, you win too. But you'll only see that from inside a metal cage. And tall pillars, circled by the dead. A race from one to the next, as time itself laughs.
Thank you. I'll keep that in mind.
You are welcome. I can't wait to see what you do.
Ó. Tudo bem. Curti.
Oh. Yeah. Hey.
Ela falou que eu vou ter sucesso. Que bom. É isso que importa. Aqui sobe. Vamos pra onde? Captura. O que é isso? É nada. Onde é pra ir, cara?
Join in, newcomer. Praise the sea with us.
Não. Obrigado. Aqui é o número da doca, não tem nada a ver com o caso.
I've said everything I know.
Don't do anything stupid, newcomer, and keep your hands where I can see them.
Mr. Throgmorton, I found this in the lifeboat. Looks like it's your son's will.
Give it to me. Oh, my boy, what did you get yourself into? If only I hadn't sent you on that cursed expedition.
Bye.
Ok. Mas... não mudou nada. cachorrinho.
Now get out.
Tá bom. Aquele ícone ali para tirar foto. Ah, eu tenho uma câmera de foto, né? Será que é para tirar foto de alguma coisa lá? Ah, ele ficou verde. Ô, detetive. Detetive Geremias é ruim, hein? Nossa, pior do detetive da história, cara. Também tá adorando o mapa. Mas por quê?
The seed is sowed.
Não tinha um pessoal aqui? E aqui no ponto branco tem que tirar foto também? Opa!
Where's your Oberon, huh, Titania?
Entendeu agora, entendeu. Agora tô entendendo. Agora tô aprendendo a jogar isso daqui. Meia hora depois, aprendi, viu? Beleza. Muito fácil. Bora então tirar aquela foto, né? Essa daqui? Não. Aqui. Tá faltando um detalhe aqui, um detalhe. Está. Não. Ó, tem um capacete aqui.
Choo-choo. I can barely recognize the face of the poor fella. He was beaten to a pulp.
Fica marcado assim pelas. Cadê o cachorrinho? Não achei ele. Ó. Eu já tinha pego coisa aqui.
The book is damp and damaged, but clearly well cared for. dog mat looks better than the owner's bed.
Mas o que tá faltando aqui, cara? Só veio boneco. Curti o peixinho.
Let's see
It
what
would
you
take
find,
tremendous
newcomer.
effort to move this thing, let alone tossing it over like this.
Era só isso. Tá bom. Completei.
I gave you clear instructions, did I not? I gave you clear instructions, did I not?
I've said everything I know.
Let's see what you find.
Ed, I still hear those voices.
Choo choo. Ahem.
Ali. Ele pra subir.
Stay alert. Monsters lurk underground.
I'll miss
They're
the carpenter's
everywhere.
food giveaway with this darn port closure.
Esse cara aqui.
Hey, knock it off.
É, foi mal.
What the? Get the. Oh.
Não deve, cara.
The door won't budge. The door won't budge.
Preciso de uma chave, então.
You want a drink?
Não,
You want a drink?
não. Quero uma chave.
Ugh, I'll miss the carpenter's food giveaway with this darn port closure. You want a drink?
The port is closed by order of Robert Throgmorton. Back off.
que está faltando aqui? Habilidades. Não tem. Quer resolver esse quebra-cabeça aqui? Rastrear o pescador que fugiu ali. Será que dá? Pra onde é que ele foi? Pra cá?
So the fisherman pursued Albert. even let off a few shots.
Subiu.
While Albert was wounded, he managed to climb that high. Robert wasn't exaggerating when he said he raised him strong.
Agora eu tenho que subir ali. Não, sobe aqui.
Even though Albert was wounded, he managed to climb that high. Robert wasn't exaggerating when he said he raised him strong.
Por aqui. Eu já vim aqui antes, né? Achei você. Tá passando mal. Ah, entrou aqui. Eu gosto disso.
There's something in the pocket.
Eu estava devendo, é cara. Por isso, né, que você morreu.
The blood is fresh. Whomever it belongs to could not have got far. The blood is fresh. Whomever it belongs to could not have got far.
Ah, pra isso que serve a pistolinha. Pra tirar ali no cadeado. Quebrou. Caraca. Ai. O bicho ali, mano. Nossa. Que bicho feio. Que? Foi embora. Então o cara morreu?
Round through the forehead. That's no accident. This was deliberate.
Agora a gente volta lá então. Voltar lá e falar pro pai dele que ele morreu.
Mr. Throgmorton, I've encountered something.
What? I don't have all day.
Some unusual creatures, and they sure weren't friendly.
You've seen a wild beast, Mr. Reed. I'm somewhat surprised to see you still alive. Those unsettling things appeared after the flood. I've commissioned a few studies on them, but we know little more than when we started. They're aggressive, but fortunately not immune to gunfire.
Yeah, I learned that firsthand.
Try to avoid them when possible. And when you can't, keep your weapons handy.
Mr. Throgmorton, I'm afraid I have bad news.
No.
Yeah, I found your son in the basement of a nearby warehouse. I'm sorry, but he was murdered. Shot in the head and the body hidden.
No. It cannot be true. No, no, no. I don't believe it. No.
My condolences, Mr. Thornmorton.
Acredita, cara, é verdade?
Your condolences will not bring him back. So much of our blood spilt for nothing. So much effort in vain. My poor Albert. Tell me you know who did it. I want to look him in the eyes, make him beg for mercy.
E agora, quem matou?
I don't know exactly. I have some suspects, but I need to investigate further.
What kind of private eye are you?
A thorough one. When I find him,
É o detetive Geremias.
No one leaves the port.
É o pior detetive do mundo, né, cara?
Find me that dirt
Calma
bag
aí.
and I'll help you with anything you need.
Ah, mano. E agora, hein? Quem que matou o cara? Nossa. Tá. Não. Não. Lewis pode estar no bar. Então vou lá ver. Quero ver.
Stay alert. Monsters lurk underground.
I'll miss the carpenter's
everywhere.
food giveaway with this darn port closure. Hey, knock it off.
I'm looking for a man by the name of Lewis Flynn. Any chance he's here?
Yeah. Even if I knew, I don't rat to newcomers.
As it happens, I know you owe a debt to Mr. Flynn. Trouble is, I found your note near the dead body of Albert Throgmorton, son of Robert. So, it seems Lewis is in trouble. Might have even come here to hide. But you hand him over and he won't be back to collect what you owe. Get me?
Rock. That would explain the blood. Fine. If it gets me out of this mess, you can have him.
So?
He's upstairs. Here's the key. You gotta promise to deal with him once and for all. But save the shooting for outside, huh?
Smart man.
Não garanto
There's
isso.
your good deed for the day. I've seen some unsettling creatures around. Like nothing I've ever encountered. What are they?
So you met a wild beast, newcomer. No one knows what they are, but consider they arrived in the flood. Some say they come from the sea.
And?
If it bleeds, you can kill it. Keep your gun handy. And if you want to erase the memory, remember, better to be a coward and live than brave and dead. Unless you're a newcomer.
Mais vale um covarde vivo do que um herói morto?
Bye.
Será?
Who are you? What are you doing?
Charles Reed, private investigator.
É
Mr. Throgmorton hired me to find his son Albert, so I think you know why I'm here.
Drach. That darn bartender. It was all that crazy ape's fault. You hear me?
Calm down. I only want to speak, for now. But no, if you reach for your gun, you'll hit the floor faster than you can say poetic justice.
I got nothing to hide.
Start at the beginning. What happened?
We were in our house, me, Paul, and Will. Barry'd gone to the sea. Though I told him that it would only bring bad luck. If he'd listened to me, we'd all still be alive.
Come on, Lewis. Focus.
Right. Well, Barry dragged that damn ape to our house. He was bragging about how much Mr. Throgmorton would give us for saving his son. But that ape, he was out cold. Then woke in an instant and started screaming, attacking us. After that, can't remember a thing.
You shot to kill. No warning, no second chances. You pursued Albert even after he fled. Why?
I can't remember it. When he woke, it was like a bloody mist descended over me. First thing I recall after is that darn warehouse and me covered in blood. I had no idea what happened, though. I suspected it had something to do with that ape. Turns out, I was right.
What kind of... why do you... your face, it's,
Oh, so you're here to attack me just because I look different to you? Want to spit on me, whisper to your friends? What's new?
No, I'm sorry. I didn't know how to ask. I've just never met someone like you before. I didn't mean any offense.
Innsmouther's bodies were blessed by the sea. You're gonna see a lot of us here, so you better get over it. We are proud of who we are.
The things you did to Albert don't look like a bloody rage. A fatal shot to the head, a hidden body. One might start to wonder if it was deliberate.
I don't know what to say. I wasn't myself.
I hear there's a bit of a feud between the Innsmouthers and the Throgmortons. Care to fill me in?
Those apes hated us from the moment we arrived in Oakmont. Our home was destroyed. We just needed a place to stay. The Blackwood Grand family sheltered us, but others were not as hospitable. We needed jobs, food, and medicine. The city denied it all.
And so?
We had to fight for every crumb of bread. And those Throgmortons in their high castle only made our life harder. Always conspiring behind our backs. Always setting people against us. I'd love to see them suffer like we suffered.
You mentioned a grand family. What do you mean?
So you're a newcomer, huh? Explains a lot.
Yeah, a newcomer with a gun. Answer the question.
Okay. People here are crazy about bloodlines and tradition and reputation. The head honchos of Oakmont are called the Grand Families. There's the Carpenters, who control most of the city's underworld, the Blackwoods, who share kin with Innsmouthers through the Marsh family.
And let me guess, the Throgmortons.
Right, those filthy apes. Now that most of the Blackwoods are gone, there's nobody left to protect us Innsmouthers.
I think I've got all I need.
Please, Mr. Reed,
Okay.
don't tell Throgmorton about me. I know I'm in no position to ask. I didn't want to do whatever it is I did. Honest, have mercy, please. I have a family. Without me, they'll starve.
This is not exactly cut and dry. I need some time to think.
Perhaps I can offer something to grease your grinds. I still have a few bullets on me.
Turns out I arrived here unprepared for business. You give me a little something to get started, and my lips are sealed.
I knew you'd understand. Here you are, Mr. Reed.
Valeu, cara. Suborno é legal, né? Agora eu posso entregar ele pra ele matar ele, né? Temos kits. Você é malvado, cara. Você é do mal, hein? Então eu posso entregar ele ou ocultar a verdade. E agora, o que eu vou fazer? Eu vou... Acho que eu vou entregar o Levis. Só porque eu sou mal.
Just
Só
as I
assim tá lá,
suspected,
pra pegar ele.
the Innsmouther Lewis is responsible for
Quero
your
ver
son's
treta.
murder. He's hiding at the local bar. Just ask the bartender. Seems like he had a bone to pick with your family and took it out on Albert.
Oh, that scum won't be getting off easy. The whole city shall see what happens when you cross the Throgmortons. Justice, bittersweet as it is, shall be served. It's rare for a newcomer to make himself so useful.
Contar comigo, cara.
Mr. Throgmorton, I hate to press you, but do you think you could help me now?
Yes, you've earned it. Gay to think a newcomer barely off the boat solves a crime the police couldn't, but I digress. Remind me, what brought you to Oakmont?
I'm looking into an outbreak of erratic behavior and madness, all linked to shared visions of this place.
Indeed. Then our goals align. This inexplicable hysteria has spread through Oakmont after the flood. I funded an expedition to explore recent geological activity that may be responsible.
A geological expedition? I'm not sure I follow.
I have reason to believe the flood and this madness have the same source. As above, so below. So I sent men to find out.
Has your expedition found anything?
I do not know. Albert was part of it. His passing cannot be coincidence. Why was he alone at the port? And where are the others?
Do these cases of hysteria involve shared visions as well?
Since the flood, many Oakmonters have had similar nightmares. Indeed, Professor Doe, the expedition leader, complained of them herself.
Waterlogged ruins with unnatural architecture, a sleeping giant, drowned streets, and a voice calling from the depths.
Her words exactly. She proposed the expedition, desperately wanting to find the cause.
You mentioned the flood. You think it's more than just a natural disaster?
You weren't here, Mr. Reed. What happened?
Do you think your son was killed because the expedition
Is it so hard to believe? I had no news for a week, then Albert, the only one I could trust, comes ashore and is killed. Mr. Reed, I want you to find out what's going on. I expect you're as interested in the expedition.
What about my expenses?
They will be reimbursed after you complete your task. And of course, you've earned some compensation for your work here at the port. I'll also include a fair advance in bullets.
Bullets?
The dollar lost its use here, Mr. Reed. After the flood, Oakmont returned to bartering. Bullets mean more than bills.
If I'm going to look into this, I'll need to know more. Where should I start?
I'll give you the address of the expedition's headquarters and a key.
That's all you can tell me?
Let me be clear, Reed. You do not speak to me like that again.
I'm sorry, Mr. Throgmorton. I just meant the more I know, the better.
I am a busy man. I funded the research, but left all preparations to Professor Doe and Albert. When you've finished, come see me at the Throgmorton family manor. It's in Old Grove. Here, I'll show you.
Legal. Solucionei o primeiro caso. Parabéns, detetive Geremias. E agora? Agora vai liberar aquela passagem lá, né? Quer ver? Quero conferir. Deixa eu ver. Ó. Não tem mais guardas ali. Isso é bom. Aí, garoto. Louco, né? Legal. Muito bem. Nossa, já fui pra lá direto. Bom, galerinha, ficando por aqui. Espero que tenham curtido aí o vídeo, o início de gameplay de The Sinking City. Jogo muito bacana, de detetive. Né? Difícil de resolver os casos, mas consegui aprender então na marra como é que se faz. É isso aí, galera. Valeu. Até o próximo vídeo aí do canal, beleza? Se inscrevam aí, comentem, curte o vídeo aí de Geremias, beleza? Valeu!